Good morning, welcome to CATEX TV. My name is Frank Fortunato. Today is Wednesday, August 15th, 2012. Well, the coppers of the state of New York are $340 million richer today. Benjamin Lawsky, the superintendent of the Department of Financial Services in New York State, you may recall last week accused the British bank Standard Chartered of a whole slew of illegal transactions with Iran. The bank yesterday afternoon, just before a meeting with Lawsky, agreed to settle for $340 million. Mr. Lawsky agreed in turn to drop any of the pending charges against the bank. Most likely, the bank will continue to have its license in New York State to operate remain in place. However, the bank does face potential investigations coming from the U.S. Department of Justice as well as other state regulators. Mr. Lawsky also hit out against the bank's auditor, Deloitte, saying that it had drafted a watered-down version of a report of the bank's activities based on its Iranian transactions. Just this morning, the main rebel group in Syria had a responsibility claim for a bomb blast in downtown Damascus. Apparently a truck bomb loaded with 8 canisters of gasoline-related explosives blew up an area near a hotel where the United Nations staff is staying, but it's also right next to a military base. According to the rebels, 150 high-ranking Syrian military officers were attending a meeting at the facility at the time of the explosion. No word on any casualties yet. The rebel spokesman said that they will continue the bombing in Damascus until we reach Assad in his palace. There's been a miner strike in South Africa over the past days. Thousands of miners are on strike. At least 10 people have now been killed in demonstrations. These are mainly platinum miners. They've been protesting at the Lonmin Platinum Mine in South Africa. It's about 70 kilometers northeast of Johannesburg. That has not yet begun to have an effect on platinum commodity prices on the world market, but it may well in the future. In China, Typhoon Haikui brings about $230 million in insured losses to Chinese insurers. This is the storm that last week hit China's Zhejiang province. The Chinese Insurance Regulatory Commission is reporting the nearly $250 million loss. And in the United States, the Consumer Product Safety Commission is recalling about 4 million Bumpo baby seats after nearly 24 reports of skull fractures. Bumpo International of South Africa produces the seats, and the CPSC says that there's been at least 50 incidents where babies have slipped out of the seats. Here's an interesting story. Australia's highest court has ruled in favor of the government regulator on tough new anti-tobacco marketing laws. British American Tobacco, Imperial Tobacco, Philip Morris, and Japan Tobacco had challenged the new law. The Australian Supreme Court said no way the government can proceed. The decision means that cigarettes and tobacco products must now be sold in plain olive green packets without branding beginning in December. Those plain packets will also carry graphic health warnings. So no more panoply of different colors and attractive packaging for cigarette packages in Australia. They'll all be pretty uniform. The insurance-linked security market seems to be picking up. According to a study released by AM Best, it seems that non-specialist investors, such as pension funds, mutual funds, and the like, have begun to increase their allocations into collateralized reinsurance. We've been following this story, and as you know, collateralized reinsurance, where investors escrow money in to a platform that is used to underwrite risk, is becoming increasingly popular. It means that you don't have to invest money into the reinsurance company, where returns, despite lacks of claims of late, are still historically low. This way you can underwrite a particular book of business, receive the premium flow and the interest flow, and in the absence of a claim, walk away with quite a bundle of money. The insurance-linked securities market obviously hope that this trend continues. Well, we've had texting while driving leading to problems. We've even had texting while bicycling leading to problems. We've had texting while boating leading to problems. We've even had texting while walking leading to problems. So it didn't take too much of an imagination to recognize this was going to happen. There's now texting while flying. According to British Columbia authorities, texting while flying may have caused a fatal plane crash last fall in British Columbia. The pilot of a small plane, a Cessna 185E in British Columbia, who was killed in November, was repeatedly on his cell phone. He finally got off his phone in the last 11 minutes of the flight, but the Transportation Safety Board says that it very probably contributed to the crash. Researchers have determined that the pilots got 3 text messages during the short flight. He was on his phone for 28 minutes of what was about a 62-minute flight. Between 5:19 p.m. and 5:55 p.m., which is 16 minutes, 26 minutes, the pilot engaged in 2 text message exchanges and conducted 5 voice cell phone communications totaling 28 minutes. He received his final text message 11 minutes before the accident. So what, you would say? However, the aircraft experienced several large altitude deviations while the pilot was using his cell phone. Went from about 4,600 feet to 3,500 feet. This happened 5 times when he was using his cell phone. Down, then up, then down, then up. I can't imagine that he didn't notice it, but nevertheless, in the last 11 minutes of the flight, probably thinking about his last cell phone message, he crashed. We'll see what else happens with that. So if you're on a commercial flight and you're walking into the cockpit, upon boarding and you see your pilot with his cell phone, please be alert. That's the news for today. If we have any breaking news, we'll come back and tell you. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.